Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever. Once again, looking down at the city of Neuve Revergrad. Well, again, it's not much of a city, as you guys can tell, but look, we almost have the roads built around our center city area. These few trees scientifically mapped out to be the exact center of our town, right? So, in any event, a little more progress was made on a couple more houses. I have it paused for a second, so let's start playing. I went around. I think everybody will be busy and happy for a few minutes. But I said I was going to fix something, and then I went a little bit nuts. So sorry for those, who want to see it. But there was these couple buildings up in this area that didn't have roads to them, right? So, like I said, I kind of went a little bit overboard. But it's a lot of tedious, does this work? Does that work? It just I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes for an okay video, but you guys saw a lot of that in the last video, so I just thought, well, let me just keep plowing forward. But I will describe and go through everything I did to the best of my ability to remember in any event. So we got these buildings attached to roads. I ended up busting these up as much as anything so I could see through them, right? Like you can't see them once they're turned regular, I don't know, to dots. You just can't see where the legs are. So these I ended up busting up and then replacing just so I could get a road. I got to thinking about it as I got that connected to down here. And I think, I just was going around to see what else wasn't connected. And we hadn't connected everything up here yet either. Just must have ran out of time if I remember correctly. But what I decided to do was build a road all the way across here. And then I redid this because this is going to be a pretty busy artery of things coming in and out, right? And I wanted to make a path for the fire trucks because we're going to need to put a firehouse in down here. So this is, in some ways, this was the other project I said I would do. Well, not in some ways, this is what I said I would do, is get a road over to here, right? So I was looking at, where the fire coverage should be. And I thought, well, we have a bus stop right, or a train stop right here, right? So that would be pretty good to get it somewhere over in this area. Might have a little bit of double coverage, but I don't mind that at all. But this will be a good area. So I did go to place this down, and then I didn't realize it would do this, but it completed all the roads. So now the other thing is I got an update last night, so I'm not sure. I'm on the test version as usual, and we now have a separate category for all this stuff. And look, I didn't notice this in the last video. I guess it was there. But we now have small parking lots for cars. Pretty cool. So we're going to get into that pretty soon. But again, we've got so much construction backed up. I want to get some things done before I don't know that I would call them strong complaints, but you guys have been saying, oh, why don't you build something? You keep designing stuff. Now, that was, a few episodes back. But what I want to do is plop this fire station down, but watch what happens. Finishes all the roads. So I actually did that and then went, oops, let me go back and reload the save, right? Wasn't much I had done at that point, but I wanted you guys to be able to see those roads that I had built. So because of that, I got to thinking I'd really like this road. Now let's close this off. I'd really like this road to be, did I finish this one? Yeah, it's hard to see with that sign in the way. But I wanted this road to be all paved for the fire trucks, right? Because it just give them a better chance of at least getting close to their destination. I didn't finish. These are still gravel. A lot of them are still gravel, but I thought, you know what? And then the other thing is trucks may choose to come through here. Like we really don't have a road from here more directly this way. So just in case, we might have things coming in here like oil and whatnot. And it'll be, well, I don't know what we'd have coming in here. But anyway, we'll have paved roads for the fire trucks. And, yeah, so all these conveyors really weren't moved at all. A couple of these railroad tracks I had to undo to get the roads in. I think over here is another one. Just to, when I redid this road to make it paved and make it look, this is now a sweeping turn versus what we had before. So nothing too drastic. This I had to move to get these attached. Remember, this was one of the things that stopped me at the end of the last episode. So I just had to kind of skirt them over as best I could. I built the road, and then I could build the track across, right? So keep that in mind. Sometimes, like if I had had these tracks in first, I couldn't build the road. But then I could build the road and then put the tracks in. All right, well, there you go. So I hope that catches you guys up. I think we have everything we need. Now, the only other thing I want to do before we really get to building tracks in here is I want to re-go through these loops and, you know, maybe even get rid of the stuff we know we're not going to use. Like these aren't attached to anything here. And I may also clean up, thank you, game save, some of this stuff here. All right, though it's, you know, even though it's a little ugly, it's kind of making its way through those conveyors too. But like, see, this one isn't, oh no, that is attached. But I just want to go through and make sure everything's, you know, as I expect it to be with the railroad tracks before we actually start building them. This episode, is going to probably be, here, let me commit to everything before I forget. So we're going to railways, that way I don't end up later on deleting. I think all the roads are committed to, right? Yeah, it doesn't let me, and no. What was the other thing? Conveyors, that's right. Yeah, I think there's no electrical, right? Or that needs to be, no. All right, so I think we're in pretty good shape to start construction. Like I said, the rails are a bit of concern, but the rails are overall a concern on the map, to be honest with you. This is just a mess right here, and it was all jammed up when I wasn't paying attention at the end of the last episode. So what I would like to do is spend this episode mostly going around and improving the rails. Now, one of the things I did, and by the way, there's some signaling strangeness happening. Like they like I said, I got an update yesterday, and see, this guy is getting a red signal. Oh, because he's okay, good. There was a real weird, if you are on the test thing, like it was giving me a red signal because a train was in here. Matter of fact, you know what, I never did put up that signal again. Let me just go put this signal back. I don't think it'll, like, in other words, there was a train sitting in here, and he was the only train, and this signal was green. It was red to come into this block, which it should be, but it wasn't red to go back out. Like, it was, and he wasn't moving. He was just sitting there. So I had to bust up all the signals. But it really got me to thinking about this mess. And yeah, I really want to get this straightened out where this can be proper one-way again. Like, we have the crisscross for these guys right here. But what I want to do is, whichever way they can go, right? I want to get them a crisscross, like, so that they can get into here even, and it'll be like one way further. So I have another one. Where the heck is it? Oh, I'm on the signal thing. There you go. So I'm going to get these guys to build this so that anybody who comes in here working, and we're going to have to get this big mess kind of done before too many trains can work on this. But once this goofy intersection's mostly done, then when these guys come into this point, they'll be able to be one way, switch to the right track that they need to work on. So that'll free this whole stretch to be like the proper one-way signaling. Because what's happening now is that because see how he switched back to this way, you know, he should be on this track, but this is his first opportunity to switch to the correct track, right? And every time you send out a construction guy, he's going to go on the wrong track at some point, right? Because he's got to get in the wrong way or out the wrong way, one or the other. So anyway, so we have them working on stuff, and I want to talk about the improvements. Let's start over here that I want to make to this in the long run. I don't like this intersection. This is where we have chemicals coming up from our chemical plant by train, right? Do we have a train? How are we doing on chemicals? Sorry to distract myself. Oh, good. Look, we got 94. So that means we're in good shape with that. And how are we doing? The bigger question, I guess, is how are we doing on our electronic? Yeah, look, we got 37 tons of electrical components. So we're now getting ahead on the electrical components, which is really good. Now, how are we doing on steel? Steel is, oh, look, that looks like we're up to 500 here. So that's good, because I want to lay some rails, and that sucks up the steel pretty darn quick. And how about over here? Yeah, 645. I mean, we're not full, so we haven't rebounded, but we do have a little bit more than we did before, which means We're probably not as constructing as fast as we want, but it's all right. It just, I know that, you know, we're doing okay. Okay, Przink North, you are a road building guy. And look, we got one more building to build in here, and then we have the rails to take care of. So kind of half want to focus on that. I'd like to get even another rail station planned, because some of them, you know, we'll see. We're going to do rail improvement, and we'll see where it takes us. So we need to get up into here and do some more work, right? Now, is everything in here paved? No, this isn't. So you could come up here and pave this. Now the other, yeah, you know what? Do this and this too. And I think that's everything in here. Uh-oh, building's on fire. Yeah, everything in here is good to go. All right, so yeah, that's the distraction we'll have to have if we're doing this. Now, yeah, he's still working on this. I still want to keep these guys working on roads, which would be Hegiodal. Yeah, you know what? You can come down here. Why not? And work on this road and this road. Why not? And then how is this guy doing? This guy is doing okay. You can see, look, he's got all 85% almost. Wow, this one's not. But, you know, he could use more covered wagons, I guess, the covered haul trucks. Now, is this one done? Yep, it's already assigned. This one's done, so we can get to there and there. Yep, well, these are, okay, these are a couple of the ones that are still waiting. And how are we doing in here? Good. All right, this is really kind of almost something we want to focus on. Yeah, that's probably enough for him for a little while. But we really want to get these done pretty soon. Then we could, well, we need to get the trains in here for them to get down here, I think. But not so much these guys. These guys, this might be the first ones we fire up. But then again, what can they do besides this until we get the trains in here? So yeah, we really need to get our train, you know, our trains working on some more things. And that's, like I said, we're going to talk about that, get some improvements made, just a lot of stuff. Now, one thing I don't like about this is that it's not really following a right-hand rule in the sense that we're coming in, like normally you might come in this way and come back out that way, right? And in any event, what I would like to do is talk about, you know, this will be electrified track, is talk about, you know, not having this train come in exactly this way, right? So I want to get them so that they don't come over and come out and then add to the traffic right in this area. Because we already got this construction thing. So what I'm thinking of is coming like right along here. So we'll build electrified track, right? And yeah, we should probably do it. We got this loop, which is a little bit goofy. And I don't actually want to connect this up just here. You know what? Let me pause it for a second. If I connect it up, yeah, so we'll do like this. I'm just going to pause it so that, yeah, can we get a railroad bridge that would go over this, or should we do a road? Should we bust up our road and have a bridge that the railroad trains would go underneath? Then the other thing to think about is, yeah, I think that's fine for now. Let's just see what a railroad bridge would look like. I guess this one, I'd like to go up 3. And I'm going to turn this. I see flashes of. Now the other question is, will this guy work too? No. Just, yeah, I can see why. Because this road, but then I could, well, I really don't want to get rid of that road. Yeah, let's get rid of this guy. And I want to turn this a little bit sharper. Again, this is just a construction access, right? So it's not like angle too sharp. There you go. Now let's build this guy first this time. I don't know what happened there. There we go. Yeah, he's not in the right. Oh. There was a green spot. Come on, buddy. I know you had it in you. Now, will you... Oh, I saw it. Nice. Okay. So let's cue it down to the... Let's see what that looks like. I want to... Back a little bit, yeah, just so you look like one. Right, good. So that sort of sets where this will go. Let's put on our wireframe. Oh, we're in good shape. All right, so let's just take this guy. All right, let's get this speed going again. So what I want to do now is just cancel from here over, and I'm assuming and hoping that once that's built we'll be able to reconnect it, right? But this way we don't, even while we're building, we're not going to mess up these tracks, and we'll see who builds what, right? Because we just have a ton of tracks and really in some ways not enough rail construction, but like I said, we don't really have enough steel to really ramp up our rail construction anyway, though I think some of these guys are traveling so far that it would make sense to do something to improve that. All right, so let's come over here to road leveling for a second, and I want to start, say, up here and just sort of let's just level some of this out. Right. So now what I want to do is, this guy would, well, he could kind of come straight out of here. Yeah, let's take this. Hopefully this doesn't mess things up too much, but this guy, semaphore right in the way. Okay, we can. Oh, I didn't start time. Let me get rid of this semaphore. All right, let's start time again. Yeah, see, I tend to forget that. Yeah, we're going to go like this, right? So this guy in the future is going to come out and go this way, right? Now, yeah, so when out is, we're going to flip this around. So this is going to be the out track, right? No, you know what? I don't know if we're going to flip it around or not. This would be the id. Right, and then everybody else is going to need to be able to get in too. So let's see, can we go? Right, so everybody else can get in that way. So we'll destroy this little section of track here and all of this down to there. So this will all be gone, and this will be the way we now get in. And then what I would like to do is, instead of these turning the way, you know, that way, what I would like to do, let's see, we have this little gravel road. Is that going to be... All right, so we're going to take this track here. Yeah, is that going to be too close to that? Yeah, probably, but you know what, let me undo some of what I just did. You know what I'm going to do? track like here. There we go. Yeah, so this will be the track back out. Right, so when they come in here, they'll come in and they'll cross over. And then when they come back out, they'll just go right back out this way. Yeah, the only issue being we're close to this, but I should be able to get a signal in there, I hope. Oh no, we already have a signal in there, so we'll be able to deal with that one way or the other. But what that'll do is that'll take these guys from going in and out of here. Now, this guy... Yeah, it would be better if this guy didn't come through there either, you know? So what we need to do now, let's destroy a little bit of this track. And no, you don't really like that, do you? You know what, I'm going to destroy more of this. At least up to there. Let's see, can we get this guy to come out? Yeah, like that. Now keep in mind, this is the one that'll be there, and then this will attach up to there. Now each one of these is going to need to be able to go the opposite way, right? So these guys are all fine because they'll come in just like they were before, but then each of these will need to go like this or something. Not the prettiest track, but I'm hoping this doesn't completely mess up. Now, what I didn't think of very well is this guy. But oh, that's a semaphore. But can this guy... Well, you know what? He might be able to join... There we go. Well, there. I thought about it quite well, quite quickly. All right, so I'm not sure if that's going to cause these guys too many problems before we get this built, right? And then the other issue that I have is when they're coming out of this construction office, how are they going to get into, like, they need to get to this, like, in other words, and there's actually not a way they can get to it, if that makes sense. Yeah, and I really want them to get in. Yeah, I want them to start building, like, here, even though, yeah. I know what I'm thinking, even though it's not coming out in English words. Right? So at least they'll be able to get in here and start building this exit track, but then they can't. Yeah. Well, and then if we had them come in, you know, the other thing is I could have that other, after a point, I could have that other guy work on this. So let's take this. We could make, you know what? Stop that. They could come in here if we one-wayed it the other way, other than we have these trains kind of semi-constantly sitting in here, right? Yeah, so the problem with them getting to this is that we're just going to have like a supply kind of semi-nightmare here. Because when it comes to this, I can one-way them back into here, and they could, you know, build things that way. Yeah. Okay, so I think the problem now is going to be getting like these built, but if we can get them into here, so that really the problem is I don't really want to interrupt my steel that much. Can we go around this with like a little special construction track that I would probably just make the cheaper wood-based? Like, can I come off of here? Yes. I don't want to get past that building. Right, and that way they should, this is where I really wish we had some waypoints for the, I can't see. Really, you won't? But if I just take off like 3 inches, that's, just so you guys know, that's like 7.5 centimeters. Crossing not allowed. Another 7.5 centimeters. And 2 centimeters. 2.5 centimeters. There you go. Perfect. So now, if I one-way this, they'll be able to come in here and construct most of this, including these bridges, which will take a little while, right? So the thing they won't be able to do is get these, because they won't be able to come back in this way, right? So they're not going to be able to do like this little piece of track or this one. But then I can send these guys from down here back in once we're ready to actually make the connection and all that stuff. So we'll have that other rail crew finish things up. Now, why are we getting... Look at that, we got like a Congo line. Right, like I said, I hope, let's just take a look at the signals. I mean, green, green, green. I don't think this is actually causing too many problems. It's not like we have a lot of trains there. So then the next and last question is, yeah, do we get this guy to come in? Yeah, I think we do, especially if we can do it without causing any significant issues. Do we get this guy? This will, by the way, this, if you notice, oh, that's a semaphore there. Can we get this guy to turn? Too sharp. That road's kind of messing me up. Semaphore is in the way again. Let's think about something. This guy... Yeah, these trains are going to be coming out going this way. So it's no problem for this guy to join up with that track. Where do we want him to join up? You know, we're going to have to get trains in, and he's not really going to have a way in, is he? No, but you know what that's making me think is that this should be... Oh, we got that thing right in the way here, but... Yeah, okay, I have a new plan. Yeah, we're going to get rid of this again. This is going to be... Not that. This is going to be a regular electrified track. If we can get it through there... Can we get it past... No, I don't want you to go that way. Can I get you? Okay, you know what? I'll settle for that. As long as you'll then... Yep, you'll go this way. Can I get you across this road? No, we don't... We want you to go like that way. You know what? That road is toast. It's just a little, you know, so the fire trucks don't burn the place up, because that's back to railroads. That's not railroads. And I just want to get rid of a little bit more there. No, I don't know what you're trying to do there, buddy. You're on drugs. All right, let's get rid of a lot more there. Will you... Oh, come on, do it for me. I knew we could do it. So then the question comes down to, can we do this a little bit more gracefully? Before I go deleting things. Okay, good. You're still working anyway. So in other words, this guy will now come in. Yeah, you know what? I might even be able to do. Yeah, so hopefully he's smart enough to use this track and come into... Uh-oh. Oh, pause. You know what? You gotta be kidding me, right? You are kidding. You know, do that. I can't believe that. The building, like, there's got to be, what, 2 buildings in the entire map that... Look, there's the fire truck sitting there going, hey, dummy, you know? No, we really don't want to burn that building down. I can't believe that just happened. There you go. How far gone is it? Not too bad. All right, let's watch the drama. Oops, I muted myself and then forgot to unmute it. We didn't miss much. But anyway, there we go. So are we getting the handle on it, guys, or what? Doesn't seem like you're winning. I hope you win. Do we need another active vehicle? Where is our fire station? Well, can these guys go there? Ooh, he's on the borderline. I don't know. Will they actually... Oh, this is the guy that responded. Boy, look. So do we have another fire station over here? I thought we did. What are you guys up to? You just don't feel like putting that fire out? Is there a reason you don't feel like putting that fire out? Or can only one fire stay? Yeah, why aren't you... There we go. At least we got the... Yeah, send your fire truck, buddy. So that's kind of interesting. Well, it looks like they're getting a handle on it, even though it's almost got ahead of them too far. Yeah, that's kind of interesting that it wouldn't send. So that's good to know, right? That these guys won't team up. They're like firefighters. At least in America, the fire companies just like fist fight with each other over the fires. You know what? It's probably a good time to go check on some things. Like, yeah, do you have construction to do? Now, what were you? You're working on over here. Oh, good. So we got some more houses done. Probably got the roads done. Yep. There you go. That'll keep you busy for quite a while. And that means this guy, yep, he's still busy as heck. Won't give him any more to do. Let's turn off that wireframe just while we go around and check on some things. So there we go. I think we're done with this, right? We got our road reconnected. Here, you know what? Let's get rid of this and we'll go check. There we go. I can't believe that building caught on fire. Like, there's like 3 buildings attached to that dirt road that we had to be working on at that moment. But yeah, as goofy as this looks, I think this will be pretty good. So let's commit to that before we... Oh no, you know what? One more thing. So these guys need to be able to get back out, and let's just avoid the dirt road altogether, especially because we actively have a fire truck in it. All right, so these guys will be coming around. You'll either cut through here, and then he'll be able to go back around. So what I'm hoping, yeah, this won't be connected, so he shouldn't try to go through this. Good. All right, I'm going to commit to all that. And then we'll get, okay, so yeah, we need to get this fixed. So how are we doing? Okay, very good. Very good, very good. We're not quite done. How many jobs do you have? Because if you don't, I think I can immediately get you working on what we just talked about, right? Other than I have to keep a close eye on this. We're just going to take some babysitting. Yeah, see, this is a mess too. Is it the only road? Yeah, you know what, we might... We'll see. Look at that. Yeah, and see, they all have to wait until this guy gets off of there, right? You know what I'm going to do, just for the sake of... Even though I know it seems to have caused problems in the past, I think that'll speed them up significantly. They won't have to wait quite as long. Get out and go, guys. Now that worked because we assigned them the one way this way, so that's good. So while we're, you know, we only have so many trains and so much steel. Okay, good. Well, we're going to ignore that for a minute. And Hagiodal, how are you guys doing? You got plenty and no error messages. How about Electric Town 2? Yep, you're still up. Did you have any error messages? Missing truck with covered haul. Probably because of this, yes. Okay. So now you don't have any error messages. Do you have enough to do? Yeah, for now. Now how about Przink North? Oops, that's an open haul. Yes, that's right. We gave you all those roads. They take a while because they're far away. This guy doesn't look like he's doing anything. No, he isn't. So all of these buildings down here are built. Yeah, our chemical factories are done. Now, is there anything else we would like this guy to do? And I don't know why I still have this window open. No, because we got our lumber improved. So what I think I'm going to do with him, because he's a construction building guy, is move him over to here so he can help out with buildings in this area. So let's take... Yeah, we don't have any mechanisms in there. Oops. You know what? Load you. Let's go. Can you carry this big guy? Okay, good. So we don't need that guy open. You know what? As a matter of fact, can you go in somebody? Yep. Is that... This guy's a dumper, I think. Yeah. And that's the only open haul. But that's good, because that's the only two slower vehicles. Good, good, good. You know what? I'm not going to be able to see if I put any more open. Where are we? Over here. How's that for flying blind? VFR rules, right? All right, so now let's just get some of these guys heading that way. Then we can close their screens. The only other problem when you do this is keeping track of who's sent and who's not. You're not. You're probably not. You are. Just takes them a minute to get out of the depot on the other end. Yep, you're sent. How about you? Nope, you're not. All right, let's just make sure they all leave real quick, and then let's see. So we can assign this guy some constructions up this way now. So all of this is done, except for the railroad tracks, which again, railroad tracks. You hear the issue over and over again with the railroad tracks, and that's going to be a little bit of a problem with those railroad tracks. But this guy can work on whatever he can get to. Yep, this. Can you get to that? No. But can you get to that? And there has to be some kind of I do wish they got a little bit. Yeah, I think that. Yes. Okay. So they can get those wires done better than what he was doing before. Yeah, and so we're really going to start having a problem with getting enough electric or train tracks done. And one of the problems here is that they can only go in one way, right? So until I get this built, we're going to have problems. So let's see. Can we come back here and check out what this guy's working on? Okay, you're working in here. Yeah, and you're working over there. Okay, good. So assuming we don't have any problems. Now, it looks like your supply is... Oh, you don't have many electrical components. You know what? Let's see why that is. Let's go back to it. No. Don't destroy the building. Yeah, let's see. Can we find where you're getting electrical components from? This is a bit of a problem. Can we shrink that? Shrink that. There we go. Cistern, dumper, covered. So you're going... Yeah, you're delivering. You're just not enough. This is an open haul. So this is the guy. And he's doing 2 of the rail construction offices. But you shouldn't really have... Yeah, this is... Oh, you know what? You're going to this other... You know what? I think I know what the part of the problem is. I forgot what my settings were. Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to get, just for the sake of it, yeah, because you're trying to do Camine. These are like our 2 most active. So let's see. If we have a covered haul, it's either going to be... Nope, no covered haul in that depot I saw real quick. How about this depot here? No. Alright, so we're going to buy... Oh, we got all the vehicles back, don't we? So we should keep an eye on... Yeah, no, we don't want that. I think the video that I put out 2 days ago on Thursday about the fastest, which is the best rail crane, was very well received. It's maybe not, you know, it's had a lot of views, and just more than that, it had a pretty great percentage of likes. So I'm assuming that you guys like that a lot. So what I'm going to do is explain the efficiency of the fuel. I'm not going to get into it now for a couple of reasons, but one of those being that I want to make sure I have all my facts straight, and I'll present it something like that. So and I don't know if it applies to all of the vehicles, but there was some comments made that, well, there's other vehicles may be more efficient. So I'd like to go back to our test track, set it up for roads, and then have it where they deliver a bunch of stuff, just, you know, stupidly in a way, just deliver stuff back and forth kind of thing, and go to a fuel station and see who called the most stuff in a certain period of time, or we'll see. But anyway, this is going to give us 5.6. Yeah, this is the one we want. We're just going to go for the most. Now you are going to go from here. So I think what's happening, by the way, is that we're probably jumping off most of our electronic components to that other one. So let's set him to do... And I know you don't have to probably do this, but it makes me feel better. Alright, so you can start, and then let's go back to here because I foolishly closed it. that's this guy. I just want to take this other stop off of him. So he's just going to go back and forth between Electronville. And how is Electronville or Camine doing? Can I open it? Yeah. Alright, so these guys should be okay. So we should be getting a lot more electrical components. And this is the kind of thing I wanted to check when I say rail improvement. You know, the episode's starting to get a little bit long, but because there is one more kind of major thing I wanted to get done, but I don't think I'm going to. But we can at least start talking about it. Alright, so how are you doing on the electrical components? Yes, yeah, not enough. Okay, good. So that's what's happening is he's dropping off, the one truck was dropping off almost all of its components here. Yeah, so we just doubled the amount of electrical components we're getting out to those two rail things. Hopefully it's enough. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Yeah, so that's good. So this is probably slowing those two down. Now, how are we doing just... And what are we doing with this guy? Yeah, he's got plenty. Well, he's actually got like an overload of them. Alright, well, we're not going to worry about you because you got an overload. Now, what are you... Ah, yes, this is what I was saying. We need to... That's a chain signal. That's a regular signal. You guys, yeah, see, this is why we didn't have these signals in the past. The good thing is if we just bust them, they'll run into each other and one of the two will disappear. Yeah, see? Yeah, and that's why we need to get this done. Now, why are you questioning your ability? Oh, because well, you should lose your question mark at some point there. Now, you were probably coming back in the wrong way, right? So can I cancel you? You were working on 27. 2, 27. There. So now we're only working on 2 things. So let's go and... Now you're going to go out the wrong track? No, you seem to be going the right way. Yeah, what were you working on? I think I'm just going to cheat E2. Yeah, Electronville 2. We're just going to cancel him so he disappears and doesn't cause us problems. Alright, so we want to get this done. Look, we only have... You know what? I think that guy will... Yeah, let's come up here. I think he's done this one, so he can come around and maybe finish up again with maybe one more trip. And then, I don't know what else we're working on exactly, but definitely kind of want to keep... Yeah, this is going to bottleneck them up till they get past there. So he's moving into this region. So now let's... Yeah, see, I don't know if we're... Yeah, I want to get this done first. Alright, so we're just going to have to keep an eye on that. You know, until I can get it where I can properly one-way it. There we go. So now we got a little Congo line going out. Hopefully we'll get some more stuff built. Yeah, you know what? I want to put these signals back in just to... Just to free other people up a little bit, even though it's not pretty. Good. So this guy can get back in and out. But you know what? Well, no, once he gets past a certain point, he'll be on his own track. And we'll have to keep in mind this guy needs to come in and out. So I probably need another signal, but I don't want to plop it down right while he's building, right? Yeah, we'll probably need a signal over here, too. Because otherwise he's turning a lot of signals red in this area. We'll see. We'll let him go. There's a lot of micromanaging. There you go. Keep these trains flowing, boys. All right, let's get going. So now, what I wanted to talk about was, how are we going to go up along here? And are these guys assigned? Yeah, you're doing two things. That's right. Yeah, you're the ones that, you know what, while I have it in my mind. Yeah, you have two assignments, and they're working all the way over here. So, yeah, you know what, this is less of a priority. But one of the things I want to do is plan a track, one of these episodes all the way along here up towards this distribution. But now that I think about it, these guys have plenty to work on between these two locations. Even if we buy more rail cranes, which, hey, we now know the fastest rail crane, right? Yeah, we need to get this done, and then we need to get this done. So at this point, yeah, would it make sense to, yeah, so we can't get this part done, but that's okay for now. But we should be able to set two trains into here. Well, we need to get this done. All right, well, let's let them just keep working. I have a feeling we'll run out of stuff. So let's come over here. And just in the last few minutes we have, let's talk about more exactly what we would do. I have no idea how to build cars yet, right? We can get this road worked on. And what I'm thinking of is, in the future, we will have a railroad that comes up over this crest here. Now I'm just going to kind of lay it out like loosely for now, in a sense. So if we did that, I think we'd want to like come up here. Yeah, I mean this, let's do a couple things. Let's just lay this out where we would kind of know where it would go, even though it's, I'd probably do the leveling off camera. Can we? Right, so you guys get the idea. So we'd have some kind of rail that would come, not some kind. Then we'd have like another rail that would come over here, right? Forming a nice big triangle where we're not going to have trains jammed up on each other. And let's just take a look at, so this is going to be Autoville. Or I don't know if you guys have another better name. Detroit. We could call it Detroit, right? Yeah, let's do that. All right, so let's name a city. If somebody has a more Eastern European Soviet sounding name. Oh, look, established date. Ah, okay. I did notice that City Hall and Accounting Office, but that's pretty cool. I don't know. I don't think that's how you spell Detroit. I have no idea how to spell Detroit. Oh, maybe that is. All right. No, that's not. How do you spell Detroit? Oh, I forgot the R. No, D-E-T. That's right. Sorry, guys. I don't know why. I think I typed it and then... Detroit. That's kind of a weird word, isn't it? I guess it's, I don't know, French or Indian probably. Okay, well anyway, so that's going to be Detroit. And in Detroit, we're going to at least, you know, we'll end the episode after this. But engineering industry. Let's see what this thing would entail. Do we have... Okay, so we have like a boatload of connections. So yeah, what we're going to need to do in between the episodes is some leveling. Let me just, for right now, level out this just so we can place it. But yeah, so we need enough room to get in the various components, and I would like to do it all by rail if we can. Now the other thing we have is, you know, we've all of this other construction we've sort of been counting on. You know, we've sort of been counting on the fact that we had Revergrad there to supply people. So this is not, this thing is huge, isn't it? I mean, this thing is almost the size of a big field. I can just tell by how long it's taken to level. I don't think I'm trying to put it down on a what do you call it? So yeah, see, this is why I don't do I don't mind doing the leveling. I put on a YouTube video or whatever and sit here and hold it and enjoy the day kind of thing. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to plop this here after all this leveling, but I think you guys get the idea. So, you know, I'll give it some more thought, get the area leveled out. Let's take a look at just the sheer size of that thing. Yeah, I didn't plop it down, but you can see it's pretty massive compared to the other buildings. And this is going to be too close to this railroad track. But that railroad track could, you know, come up this way. Now, yeah, we'll have to see. Because, you know, do we make extra mechanical components here? Do we make plastic components here? If we're going to do all of this, one of the thoughts I have is that I think we should ramp up our building capability over in this area, right? We should put another rail construction office, but we should also get, what happened here? Oh, did we have a fire? We had a fire, so we don't have gravel over here anymore. Well, we need a fire station, and so we need to figure out where to put a town, right? You know, do we put our town, well, I'd like to keep it really close to this. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to build you know, we could level out some more of this hill. Not too difficult, I don't think. Yeah, I'd like to keep the town pretty close to this. Though maybe we'll have like a little bus or a little train thing going back and forth. Just for passenger trains. And then yeah, I don't want to get into this corridor too much. You see what I mean? So what I'm thinking of is that we level off a little more of this hill and actually build our town like maybe over here so that we could have like well, we'll have to see. We'll have to talk about how we supply, because then we have like these guys over here, prefabs, and I was going to put like a distribution area here. So maybe, do we move this onto the other side of the hill near this distribution area? Keep this clear for, you know, like it's kind of a big train intersection. We can have some construction happening here, but the problem with construction over here is we have no people. So that's sort of a problem. And then we have no, yeah, we need to get some more people. We needed to get another town going somewhere over this way. And I think what we should do is get the town going over here. So maybe we build these railroad tracks as best we can. And then once this railroad track is built into here and roads are built into here, then we actually plop a town down here. And that town will be like another big town where we distribute people out of it for our prefab construction and our quarries. And then maybe we have our cars like up over here. So maybe this won't be Detroit because it's sort of, you know, I don't like where I would have to put a town. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I mean, it's kind of enough in that railroad's not very straight, but we can work on that. Yeah, and see, I don't like jamming Detroit in here. I'd like to build it someplace that if we ever decided we wanted 2 car factories or more, we could. Like, I don't even know why I put prefabs over here as opposed to any other place in the world. So, I mean, we could probably put prefab someplace else. I'm kind of liking this maybe for the cars. But we'll see. Let me know what you think. And there we go. So how are we doing over here? Are we all jammed up? Of course. So what are you working on? You were working on 14. 24, 14. And I think that was over here, wasn't it? Yep, you got that one done. And I closed the wrong thing. All right, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do in between the episodes, but we're at about the hour mark. And I will send this guy back out to finish up this, which will be one less kind of big problem, right? No, now we got another one coming in. All right, I'm going to pause it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. We'll get some stuff built here. Oh, now what are you doing now? All right, I'm going to straighten out some stuff in between the episodes with this. Maybe get a little bit more of this built. I might do a little construction in between the episodes when we get done here. No more planning, but I do want to start getting enough. We need to start improving our rail building capabilities because it's just going way too slow and there's way too many problems in this area. And yeah, so I may get it to the point where we don't have so many problems. I think, oh, look, good, very good. This being switchable is excellent. Okay, I will talk to you guys in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care of yourselves and have a good day. Bye-bye.